everybody. So I am waiting for an order from UPS right now. It should come any minute. I'm following my tracking on it, but I have some fun stuff coming. I talked in my first video about how I'm switching over to beta tanks for my humidifiers. I was getting really tired of filling up humidifiers and then also filling up, I was using fountains for a while. I got tired of filling those up. So today I am getting in the mail some water plants to add to my third tank. It's actually a tank in a tank, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. I was going to do an unboxing video because I'm also getting an elbow monstera today, a butt cut that I'm pretty excited about. I bought it online from another seller, Kaboo. So this is my first order from her. So I'm super excited about that. But it hasn't come yet. So I have to clean my house, so I figured I'd do a little tank tour while I'm waiting for my UPS delivery. So we have, I'm going to flip you guys around in a minute. I have a bunch of IKEA cabinets like I talked about, well two IKEA cabinets that I talked about in my first video. If you didn't see that, you can see my first cabinet in the first video. I have a cabinet in my kitchen, which is right behind me. That's also an IKEA cabinet. But I have some refinished tables that my husband made me for plant tables, and I ended up picking up some fish tanks on sale on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace. I think I got them for like 10 bucks. So I got those for basically like display for a little bit, plants like a little bit more humidity. I had the table completely full of plants, pulled those all off, put the tank up, started out with the humidifiers. Like I said in the first video, I didn't like the water that settled on the bottom of the tank, so I switched to fountains. Fountains work great. I loved them. However, my attention I get distracted. I get really distracted very easily. So I often forgot to refill the fountains, and they really only hold like this much water. So I was burning out a lot of motors and buying a lot of new fountains on a regular basis. If I was a little bit more attentive, that wouldn't have been a problem. Fountains work great. And that sounds like UPS. So I decided to switch to fish tanks. I really love having them. I enjoy the fish. I have betas in mine. I am fast cycling this one because I have a new beta on the way. He'll be here in about a week. So I pulled the filter from another tank, threw it in this tank, and yeah, so it'll filter a little bit quicker, or cycle a little bit quicker. So I have to clean my house. I think I say that every video. I have to clean my house really bad. This whole tank needs scrubbed, so it's got some water spots and stuff like that, but I'm going to show you guys anyway because I have you on here. So I'm going to switch you guys around and give you a wide span view. So this cord that's holding up the light, that is a makeshift cord. We're eventually going to put a white piece of board down there. We're going to put the white or a clear fishing line. And then eventually I'm going to have this tank framed in like a white wood, so that it's got like a little bit of an ornate wood around it. And I'll show you guys, like my chair rail is like that here. I'm going to have like something along this line, probably put along the top of my tank right there, because I don't really like the black, so that'll eventually get done. So here's my newest fish tank. I got some live plants in there. Some orange jasper is what I was told that is. And then just some river rock. I did not use fish gravel for this one. I just used a river rock. I do keep a carnivorous plant in all of my tanks and cabinets. It just helps with any random fungal gnat that might happen to be in there. All right, we're going to go back to my mispronunciations here, but I call this a Vici. No, I'm sorry, this is a Vidifolium. I'm getting confused. This is my strappy Vidifolium. I'm struggling with this one. If anyone has any suggestions, it likes to go yellow on me, and I'm not entirely sure why. I'll show you one of the leaves here. It's yellowing. I don't know if this is a nutritional issue. It doesn't die back. They just are turning yellow. I am on the quest for just the right fertilizer. I'm trying a new fish emulsion fertilizer. It smells like death, but I'm hoping it works really well. You can see here I'm also getting some new growth, so I know that it's growing well. You can see that. So I'm getting new growth. So the roots are great. I actually just repotted this one because it was growing just so ridiculously crazy. But yeah, so that's that. I'm also having the same yellowing issue with my tortum. Don't know what's going on with that one. but that's growing quite nicely. Again, new leaves all the time. Then I've got my little tiny elbow monstera in here. She's getting ready to pop a new leaf for me here pretty soon. And then we've got down there the tank. I've got my Pariso Verde in here. This one has been giving me super gorgeous leaves recently. But these leaves just are beautiful. I love the multicolors on those. I know some people don't like them. I happen to love them. I've got a hiding in the back here. That is a variegated vanilla bean orchid. Funny thing about the vanilla bean orchid, so most orchids you expect to flower. The vanilla bean orchid does not flower very easily. They have to grow, they have to be a certain age, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think they have to be like 3 years old. Then they have to get burnt. So what's going to happen is in nature, they're going to climb until they reach a point where they're out of the underbrush and they're in the bright sun. That bright sun is going to burn them, and that's going to trigger the flowering, and that's where the vanilla bean comes from. Was the flower of that. These are pretty vigorous growers. I cut this back quite often, propagate them, and they grow very nicely. And then over here I have a white knight. I actually bought this one. I was told it was a white wizard. I was not paying any attention whatsoever, but someone pointed out to me that it had the green stem, which how I did not even notice that, I don't know. But the white wizard is going to have a reddish colored stem. The white knight has the green stem. Other than that, to me, they look very, very similar. Down there, I've got a little alocasia growing, a dragon scale, or I get all the alocasias confused, but that's kind of hanging out down there. This is my current favorite in this tank, just because it's giving me such pretty leaves. Right in there. Zoom in a little bit for you. Isn't that gorgeous? Simply gorgeous. Yep, so that is my tank in my dining room. Go back a little bit. So, get the full span of it. Eventually, I want to get some little shelves of some sort. I haven't figured out what to put some shorter plants up here along the back, or possibly something that climbs. My humidity is low a little bit right now. I'm at 54 in this tank because I don't have a lid on it at the moment. I took it off a couple days ago to set up the tank, and I just never got around to putting it back on. What I have for the top of these, I'm going to switch you guys back around. Hi. So what I use for these are these plexiglass, and they just set on top like that. I leave a little bit of gap. I had a fan in here for a while, but I took it out because I wanted to see what was going to happen with the lid off. I would really like to leave the lid off, and just, I don't know, I don't really love the look of the plexiglass up there. So I'm going to try leaving the lid off for a while, see what my humidity level does without it, since I just put the tank in. So I was holding at about 80% actually for a couple days after I put the tank in without the lids. Today I came home and I noticed that it had dropped to 54, so I don't know why. I am finding that that's a good indicator. When my humidity drops for no reason, I'm feeling my pots right now because they need watered. So I watered not that long ago, so I shouldn't think that I would need watered yet, but because my humidity level's down, that kind of indicates that all the pots are drying out. If you're new to plants and you're watching this, this is what I do. I'm going to flip you back around. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. If you're new to plants, you don't want to overwater them, because what's going to happen is those roots are going to get wet and they're going to get root rot. This is kind of the same thing as if your feet stay wet too long and the skin gets all nasty. So I take my finger, just stick it on the edge of the pot. That's generally what I do, so I'm not messing around with the roots. Stick my finger in there and it's dry. So if I have my finger 1 to 2 inches in and it's wet, I don't want to water yet. I'm going to stick that in there, and they're all dry, so that means it's time to water. Another way I can tell is just because I pick my plants up and inspect them so often, I know that when it's light, that's also a good indicator of them being wet, too dry. So, yeah. Now, my carnivorous plants, they're planted in moss. and they can't be watered like the rest of my plants. I don't fertilize them. I don't give them anything other than straight rainwater or reverse osmosis water. They're incredibly picky. And if I give them anything other than that, they flip out on me. So that little fella with its cute little pictures, he is going to get just some distilled water, or I'm sorry, reverse osmosis water. I actually found the cheapest way to get the reverse osmosis is Drug Mart. My Drug Mart, I don't know if all Drug Marts have that, but my Drug Mart has a water filling station outside. So I just take empty jugs that I save, and I fill them up. It's $1/4 gallon. So it saves me money instead of going to the grocery store and buying a gallon of, what is it, a gallon for $1.25 or something like that at the grocery store, 89 cents some places. So I just take them. I have a bunch, so I fill them all up at once. I think I have like 4 or 5 gallon jugs. Just take them to Drug Mart, fill them up, throw them in my basement, and they're ready to go. So I wouldn't say that was the most fascinating tour, but yeah, little something something until the rest of my stuff comes in. I may still do an unboxing video when I get my new stuff in, just because why not? But yeah, so that's it for now. Just like with all the other videos on YouTube, if you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave some questions in the comments. I would be more than happy to answer any of them if I can, and if not, I will try to find the answers for you. If you have any answers for me, such as the yellowing on my Vidifolium and my Tortum, then that would be great. If you have any suggestions on what I can do, because I've tried a lot of different things. I've tried more light, I've tried less light, I've tried different fertilizers. This fish emulsion, I need to give a chance, see if that does anything for me. But yeah. Yeah, so like, subscribe. If you don't like this video, don't like it and don't subscribe it, or else you'll see more of me when you don't want to. So, yeah, I think that's it. So you all have a great afternoon. It is gorgeous here today. I am going to open up some windows. I'm going to crank up some music. I'm going to finally maybe get a little bit of my house cleaned. And then, yeah, go about my day. Hopefully my plants come soon. So you guys all have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.